Hey, everybody. I'm joining live just a couple minutes late. I'll give folks a chance to join in. If you're in the chat, say hey from wherever you are. I'm trying to watch the chat. All right. And I also just want to say, as we head into Thanksgiving week, how grateful I am for every one of you out there who tunes in, who sends me an email saying that some piece of content that I've shared has helped you. It means so much for me to be a part of your journey, whether it's big or small. And a big shout out to Barry Michelle, who made this scarf for me and is the founder of Project Bike Tech, bringing bike tech programming into high schools all over the country and creating an opportunity for students to learn STEM skills, other skills, job readiness skills in a way that might not be available in a traditional classroom program. So thank you, Barry, and thank you for the wonderful scarf. And today I want to talk about something related to being a founder and how having no experience or training can actually give you an edge sometimes. And I want to share a lesson that I learned from my mom, who discovered one of the most important principles of scaling simply because she didn't have any experience or training in business. These days, I help businesses break free from founder dependency. I help those visionary CEOs get really good at building aligned teams and delegating outcomes so that they can make big, bold visions come true. In other words, I help them get out of their own way and scale beyond just one person running the show. But it wasn't always such smooth sailing. I had to learn this lesson over time, and it's a lesson that a lot of entrepreneurs, whether you're a nonprofit type visionary or a service oriented for profit, and it's something that folks either learn the hard way or get stuck and never learn at all. You may have even heard of stories like Arianna Huffington famously collapsing from exhaustion I think it was in her office. It's that classic founder burnout scenario. Now, in my case, I did all of the usual research and training and coaching to figure out how to delegate effectively. But the real aha moment came from something I witnessed way back in my late teens and early 20s. And this is the story I'd like to share with you today about my mom, who had zero business training and yet ended up taking over as the head of school for the small independent school that I had attended in my early years. She was doing it mostly because no one else would, and she simply had to teach herself bookkeeping and all sorts of administrative skills on the fly. But here's the unique part. My mom didn't have a big ego about it. In fact, my mom has an ego about just about nothing, except maybe her garden, which she's so good at, and enough people have told her over the years she knows it. So she didn't feel the need to be in the spotlight or manage everything when she took over the school. So after a few years of hard work, rebuilding the foundation of what this school was, building for the first time a solid financial foundation. And she got the school. She ended up running the school for 17 years. And once things were going smoothly, I asked her what she did all day as she ran this school, which had now moved and built a campus and had enough students to be financially sustainable and had an incredible reputation in the community and the most wonderful, dedicated staff. And so I asked her what she did all day, and she kind of chuckled a little and said, honestly, I play solitaire on the computer just enough so that I look busy enough so that people don't interrupt me. But I'm actually just making sure that I'm available if anybody really needs me. And that was a light bulb moment for me. I realized that I had seen someone, my mom, truly delegate all of the outcomes of the school. And it didn't look like hustling or juggling everything alone. It looked like creating a space where the team could thrive, where everyone knew what to do, and where the leader could step back and let the organization run smoothly. Now, the first evidence I remember as I thought back of how she did this was actually at home when I was a teenager. She had asked my dad to make a very large tabletop out of plywood at home, one that was big enough for all of the teachers to sit around and have lunch. And then she asked another one of the staff members who was also involved with running a restaurant to make soup for lunch for the staff once a week. And this is how she formed this form of leadership where the staff, the teachers of the school, sat around and figured out how to run the school as a group over lunch at a big table while eating delicious and nutritious soup. And so that is how I learned the true art of not just delegating tasks, but delegating outcomes by watching my mom master it in her own unassuming way. And now I hope this story will help you and anyone you want to share this story with find a little more time to play solitaire or whatever your version of that activity is that lets them breathe and focus on what truly matters. If you're listening to this story and thinking, wow, I would love to delegate the outcomes in my business or organization, and I'd love to learn the ins and outs of how to do that and have some help along the way, I am here to do that with you. You can go to saraholivieri.com/apply or pivotground.com/application. Tell me a little bit about yourself, what goals you'd like to achieve, and then we'll schedule a call and see if we are a good fit to work together. And until next time, I wish you all the best.